Good morning, my viewers, wherever you're watching me.
So we're gonna talk about the mission and the entire gospel of peace mission. Please remember to subscribe to Mia TV and remember to watch this video up to its end. You're gonna be encouraged. You're gonna be new things that we never knew and learn more about the gospel of peace mission, the foundation, where it was found, which year, and until now. So together with me, I have Apostle GP Karemi, who will be talking about mission.
Hi to everyone who's listening to me, and praise God. My pleasure to bring to you a story of our journey, which is quite a number of years, so that people can see and hear what we are about. And like I've said before, I'm so proud that you're listening. It's good that you're listening, and it's good to know where things are. Where are we going? That is the journey we're supposed to talk about today. When did we start? What was the motivation? Like, or we had a voice from God and that's what we have followed up. And that will be important for us today as we get to know what the gospel of this nation is about. My name again is Pastor GP Karimi, and I'm born again. Jesus is Lord and Savior of my soul. So that is where I must start. The gospel of peace missions has a long story. It has been running, I think, for the last 20 years, if I'm not wrong. And I've told this story because it's interesting to see what God can do over a period of time. Today the saying is trust the process, and I can tell you this is a process. When I came to the Lord in the year 2005, I didn't know which way I should go, but because I was in the university, after I gave my life to Christ, 2 weeks later I was on a mission field testifying about Christ, and I had nothing to think about it. I thought it was just one of the things people do when they come to Christ. And from that day, in that mission that we did in Meru, if you come from Kobo, Kitangari, Kionyo, Morongorone, those are the places, the first place I went for a mission. And I bless the Lord because from that day on, I've never looked back. And 19 years is a short time.
Very well.
Yes.
And so, when did the gospel of peace mission started? When did the journey started?
So after I did that, I have a short history. After I graduated, I went to stay in Obaya, and when I was there, I would, on Sundays after service, I would call them small journeys that I took, and I would go share the gospel with people on the street. And what was interesting is every time I shared the gospel, it felt fresh every time. And I remember printing some small leaflets with the message of the gospel and a call to salvation. And I did it for, I think, 4 continuous years. Just God trying to tell me, this is what you're supposed to be doing. But I didn't understand the voice. I was basically very young in salvation. But something was telling me, this is what you're supposed to be doing every day. And of course, life takes its course and teaches you a few things. And here I am, leading an organization, leading a ministry that is purely focused on missional. Even if you have churches, they are all mission centers. According to me, they are all mission centers. So people come, they are nurtured, they are equipped, and then they are sent away. So the story has its own history. And it started with one man and hearing God and obeying that voice. And it's interesting this far.
Sure.
Yes.
So let me ask, where did the word gospel of peace and mission came from? Was it a vision brought to you by God?
Another beautiful story. I remember in 2018, just 2 years before, God was telling me to go and do mission work. And that time I was serving as an administrator in a church in Nairobi, and had overseen the church grow from like 100 members. We were already doing 1,000 plus. And he had moved from one place to another, had bought our own land. And so I was in the right place, serving God. And then And because I was still working in the hospital, God was telling me, your time is up. You must leave this place. And so when I left work, because I was working in Mater Hospital, God was saying, I've told you to leave that place and come and serve me. But I didn't know. I thought I was leaving, working in Mater to go and serve in the church that I was serving that time. But God had other ideas. Like, of course, He had other ideas.
Sure.
Because our thoughts and His thoughts are as heaven and earth, so separated.
Sure.
So when I left Mater, I said, let me do some business. And when I was doing that business in town, at the town center, I thought this is the end of it. I stopped working in Mater, set up my own hospital, and then go on with life. So that will allow me more time to go and serve God in the church. But after prayers and fastings, when I was asking God, I need to know what you want me to do.
Sure.
I was not thinking about missions. I was thinking about serving in the church, perhaps be ordained, become a pastor or something like that. But like I said, God had other ideas.
Sure.
And so I thought like, now I'll be serving in the church for 3 or 4 days in a week. And I actually was able to do that. So the church administrator and the church is fast growing, it's huge. It's over 1,000 members. I thought I had a lot of work. In fact, I'll go to church on Monday. And then even when I was in Mater, I started doing that. I go to work on Monday afternoon so that I can go to church in the morning and check out what's supposed to be done. Then I work on Tuesday and on Wednesday. On Thursday, I work the morning shift so that I will be in the church in the evening when we have the evening fellowship on Thursday. And on Friday, I would work. But then on Saturday, I would work the morning shift and then come for the evening shift, prepare for the Sunday service. And I did that for, I think, 3 years continuous. And so, according to me, I was doing a great job. But then, when I left work and started doing business in town, God was telling me, no, this is not what I called you to do. And I'm like, God, I don't understand. I need to feed my family. And God was telling me, no, this is what you must not do this. What I called you to do is go and minister this gospel. Because there are many who are perishing. And it cannot be about you, it must be about me and the people I'm sending you to go and serve. And so, in his own ways, I closed that shop in town. And I think my losses were close to 5 million. And I was asking God, what do you want me to do? And so I thought, let me borrow some money. Because this shop is closed now, this hospital is no longer there. Let me get to a business that will occupy me for a few days and then go away. So I borrowed money. I had some money, borrowed some money from my brother and some friends. We raised around 3 million. So I started the business of importing maize from Uganda. Did it in January of 2018, February and March, and April. By May, I remember that because that was my last trip to go to Uganda and get the maize. I got to a place called Hoima, just near Lake Alba, to the northwest of Uganda. And I was there and I was caught in a vision. And God asked me, you're supposed to be standing here preaching. So I don't know where you came here. And I'm like, God, am I not supposed to do some work? To earn my own money. And then that in itself was hard on me. So I came back with around 4 or 5 trailers, 30-ton trailers of maize. I supplied, but up to date, I've never seen that money. That 3 million is gone and gone for good. And it was that bad. Then I came back and I asked God, why are you doing this to me? And I'm serving you in church. I'm only earning my wages. So why would I allow these things to happen to me? And in that moment, when a lot was going through my mind, I went to pray and then I prayed, came back. And God reminded me something He had told me a few years earlier, like 2 years earlier, that He has closed my seasons and I'm entering a new season. So I didn't understand the language. But He told me, I told you you're closing your season, you're entering my season. And at that moment, I was caught in another vision. And I saw myself like I was receiving the same maize from Uganda, but now in a vision. And then there was that tan trailer. Then I asked the driver, can you come and open for us? And then he breaks the seal, opens the doors. Then in the middle, I saw one piece of bread. And I turned to the driver very angry. And then the vision was cut. And then the voice of God tells me, that's what you're doing to me. I've invested so much in you that that's what you want to deliver. Then I knew things were tough now. I had no choice. And then I told God, please, that's what we want. I'm ready to do anything. If that's what costs you, then I'm ready to go. And that's where my journey with the gospel of this mission started. Not to just tell you where the name came from. The same day I went for a mission in Machakos. I think we went for that mission on the 12th, 11th of December, 12th. We are finishing it on 16th of December, 2018. And God told me, don't ask me another question. Go and call that mission the gospel of peace. And I was traveling from Machakos to Nairobi. And I'm like, is it my, am I thinking about it? God is speaking to me. So, can you stick that name in your head because you called it that? So I came back and I'm like, I'm not going to tell anyone. Because I don't know what this thing is. And so I even went to my pastor and told him, what? My time has come to leave. And he's like, what is wrong with you? I told him, the way God is speaking to me, he has no other choice. I have to go and preach the gospel to every nation, to every tongue, and every place. And I told him, and he's like, no, you can't go. And you know what happened? War started. But I had a name. So that's where the name came from. It's actually God told me, you call it the gospel of peace missions, because you do that the rest of your life.